Hello everyone, my name's Aloubell and welcome to part 22 of Miraculous Bonds Beyond Fate, my Miraculous Ladybug AU with a different origin story and different other things too. If this video is your first exposure to Bonds Beyond Fate, then please check out the story from the beginning. Return for part 22 when you are ready. For everyone else, sit back, relax, hit that like button for the algorithm, subscribe for more reviews, rants, and rewrites, and if you want to support me even further, you can become a channel member by clicking the join button, commission me on Artistry, or donate over on Ko-fi. Regardless of what you do, I appreciate you being here. Anyway, put the SOS emoji in the comments and enjoy Miraculous Bonds Beyond Fate Part 22. Last time on Bonds Beyond Fate, Miss Boustier's class successfully adjusted to the temporary change in status quo thanks to some quick thinking by Alia and Nino. But after their math tests were returned, one student, Kim, made his displeasure and his low score quite known, leading him to stomp off in anger. While Marinette went to try and convince him to retake the test, Alia stayed to serve her detention while Adrian and Nino had a heart-to-heart and strengthened their friendship. The good times couldn't last, however, as Gabriel Agreste suddenly appeared at their school. And now the story continues. There was an immediate sinking sensation of dread within Adrian's core. He couldn't believe it. His father was right there. After he and his friends had searched so often for him and Natalie, he just showed up in front of their school from who knows where. No fanfare, no warning. Just casually pulling up as if it were a typical thing for Gabriel to pick his son up from school. Nino leaned over and whispered to Adrian, "Dude, is that your..." "Yeah, it is," Adrian responded just as quietly. "Are we being punked or something? What's he doing here?" "I don't know, but I think I should go find out." Adrian continued to stare his father down, not allowing his eyes to drift anywhere else. It was as if he was being confronted by some vicious, wild predator, and his whole life depended on him keeping an eye on it and not making any sudden movements. "Are you crazy? This could be some kind of trap." "Maybe, but this could be one of our only chances to get his Miraculous. If I'm the only one he allows to get close to him, shouldn't I take that chance? We could finally put an end to all this." Nino scowled as he audibly exhaled through his nostrils. "I don't know, man. Trust me." Adrian finally broke the stare battle with his way too calm father and gave his friend a sideways glance with a confident smile. Sighing, Nino finally agreed. "Fine. But I'm letting the girls know to stand by just in case anything crazy happens." The two boys slowly made their way over to the limousine as Adrian quietly replied, "Just don't make it too obvious." "Well, hello there, Adrian," Gabriel greeted, continuing to give his son a welcoming smile. "You two look like you were having fun just now." Feeling uneasy, Adrian merely acknowledged his father's existence by saying, "Father." Turning to his son's friend, Gabriel asked, "And who might you be? I haven't had a chance to meet any of Adrian's new school friends." Putting on his usual friendly demeanor, Nino introduced himself. "The name's Nino. It's nice to meet you, sir. I gotta say, it's pretty awesome getting to meet an actual celebrity." Nino extended his hand and Gabriel reciprocated by doing the same, giving the young man a handshake. "The pleasure is all mine. Thank you for taking care of my son," Gabriel said. "No worries. I'm more than happy to lend my services. Speaking of which..." Without warning, Nino intruded on Gabriel's space by poking his head through his window to look around the inside of the limo. "How would I even rent one of these? This is so sweet." Adrian's eyes widened from the spontaneous audacity of his friend as he wondered what the heck he was even doing. Slightly annoyed, Gabriel grimaced as he said, "I beg your pardon." "Oh, sorry about that." Nino took his head out from the window and stood up straight. "Sometimes when I see something cool, I can't help but investigate. Looks like my girlfriend is rubbing off on me." He chuckled while elbowing Adrian's side. Gabriel adjusted his glasses. "Yes, well, would you mind giving my son and I some space? I wish to talk to him alone." "Of course, no problem. I'll just wait on the steps right over here." Turning away from the fancy car, Nino placed a hand on Adrian's shoulder and said, "Good luck, dude," before creating distance between them. As he sat on the steps leading into the school, Watching Adrian enter the limo with his father, Nino took out his smartphone and made a quick text. Lugging around a huge garbage bag, Alia huffed and groaned. How is it possible that we produce this much trash? Miss Bustier smirked as she corrected students' papers at her desk. Trix sat on the desktop only a few inches away, watching what she was doing. The teacher then said, "Try looking at this as a learning opportunity. Now you can better sympathize with our beloved custodians. Not to imply that you didn't respect them before, it's just an important lesson. Oh, and don't forget to wipe down the desks when you're done disposing of that." Trix giggled in response to this. Alia rolled her eyes. Yeah. Suddenly, Alia's phone screen lit up as her notification sound chimed. Curious, she dropped the garbage bag and made her way over to her phone that was resting on her desk. Without even unlocking her phone, Alia could see from the lock screen that Nino had texted her a short message. SOS. Gasping, Alia frantically peeled off her latex gloves and opened her boyfriend's message thread, which was addressed to both her and Marinette. Sensing the urgency, Bustier asked, "What's wrong?" While texting back, Alia answered, "I don't know yet, but Nino sent out a distress call. I am asking for more info." A few moments went by, and Alia, Trix, and Bustier all waited with uneasy anticipation. With such a short initial message, Alia was nervous and prayed that her boyfriend was okay. Another notification sound. Alia's eyes widened as she announced, "Hawkmoth, he's here. At the school." "What?" Miss Bustier stood up with urgency as she went over to investigate the text message. "Are you sure? I don't hear any panic or anything." When she finally glanced at the screen, she blinked in confusion. "I don't understand. It just says that Adrian's father is here." Pulling away from her teacher, Alia texted Nino back. Putting the pieces together in her mind, Bustier excitedly gasped and prepared to shout. Fortunately, she caught herself and spoke in a loud whisper. "Hawkmoth is Adrian's father?" Distracted by thinking of the next course of action, Alia quickly replied, "Yup." "Well, if you know that, why haven't you all just called the police on him?" "Wait, yeah, that's what I'll do." Bustier turned to reach for her phone. "I'll call the police." Swiftly taking hold of Miss Bustier's wrist, Alia pleaded, "Don't. Please don't. There's a reason we haven't told the police. It's complicated, but I promise we'll explain it to you later. Right now, we have to make a move." "This seems a bit too easy, Alia," Trix said as he floated next to her head. "There has to be a catch." "The catch is that Natalie is nowhere to be found. Nino checked inside that limo, and it was just Mr. Agreste and a missing driver. With one supervillain unaccounted for, we can't just assume that Gabriel Agreste is serving himself up to us. I'll have to go and see if I can spot her anywhere close by. Trix, are you up for a little recon?" Doing a little air flip of his body, the tiny fox creature joyfully replied, "Let's do it." "Does Marinette know about this?" Bustier asked. "Nino texted her as well, but she never responded. I guess she's still busy helping Kim." "Then I'll go track her down and tell her. But Alia," Bustier gave her student a look of concern, "be careful out there. All of you. You hear me?" Alia nodded and smiled up at her. After returning the smile, Bustier dashed out of the room, making sure to close the door behind her so that Alia and Trix had some privacy. "All right, Trix, let's pounce." After transforming, Alia, now Rena Rouge, sneaked out of the classroom, making sure she wasn't seen, and leapt onto the rooftop of the school. Making her way to the front of the facility, she crept down low so that she couldn't be easily spotted by the people below. It was there that she spotted the limo carrying Gabriel Agreste and Adrian. All of the tinted windows were up, so she couldn't see what was happening on the inside, and she doubted that Nino could see much more than she could from his angle. Using her magical flute to send a quick message to Nino about her position, Rena surveyed the surrounding area, seeing if she could spot a suspicious person of interest from her vantage point. Staying as inconspicuous as possible, she moved around and continued her search. Meanwhile, Adrian sat away from his father, keeping a respectable distance. "Adrian, why don't you come and sit next to me?" Gabriel once again smiled at his son as he patted the seat beside him. Keeping an intense expression, Adrian responded, "I'm good here, thanks." Sighing, Gabriel continued the small talk. That friend of yours seems really nice. This was the first time Adrian had been alone with his father in quite a while. The last time they spoke was the night he confronted him about being Hawkmoth and finding out the lengths he was willing to go in order to resurrect his wife. Adrian couldn't help but wonder if things would have been different had he not revealed that he knew his father's secret identity. Maybe if he continued to play dumb, he would have had more opportunities to swipe his Miraculous, and so much trouble could have been avoided. This was faulty thinking, however, as he recalled that due to his inability to be subtle, Natalie had picked up on the fact that he knew this secret, so the two of them acting upon that knowledge was inevitable. Adrian lamented the entirety of the situation. He is nice, but you're not here to talk about my choice of friends, are you? Adrian asked with a bit of spite in his tone. Adrian, don't be like that. I'm your father. I take interest in what you take interest in. Crossing his arms, Adrian looked away in a huff. That's a lie. After Mom died, you barely ever give me the time of day. Anytime I needed something, you sent Natalie to handle it instead of acting like a real father. Countenance falling, Gabriel spoke with regret. I know. I haven't been very fair to you, Adrian, and I sincerely apologize. You deserve so much better, and I'm working hard to make sure you have everything you want, including your mother back. Throwing his arms down in frustration, Adrian shouted, We've been through this. I don't want her back if it means that people will get hurt. Adrian? Why can't we just be a family? You, me, and Natalie? Why can't it just be us? We'd be happy and take care of one another. It's what Mom would have wanted. Adrian, his father spoke softly and calmly. You're just so naive. Why settle when we can have it all? Adrian's whole body twitched. This conversation was a little too reminiscent of the last one. Nothing was getting accomplished. Why haven't you told the authorities about me? Gabriel asked. If you believe what I'm doing is wrong, then surely they should know, right? Adrian didn't respond. Could it be that deep inside you agree with what I'm doing? No, I'd never approve of something so terrible, Adrian snapped back before calming down. I already lost one parent. I don't want to lose another. Feeling the weight of everything, Adrian's eyes began to swell up with tears. Smiling sympathetically, Gabriel said, I miss you too, Adrian, and that's why I want you to come with me.
Kim, I promise you that Miss Bustier just wants what's best for you. She isn't giving you a bad grade just to ruin your day, Marinette said to Kim, who was rummaging through his locker.
She doesn't get it, Marinette. Swimming means so much more than math. I won't even need math for swimming, so what's the point? He said through his anger.
I mean, a well-balanced education is a good thing, I guess. Besides, don't you have to use math to calculate angles and stuff so that you can swim faster and better? Or what if you need to properly measure your food for a balanced diet? I don't know. I'm sure it has its applications in what you're doing. Regardless, why not just take the redo test? There's really no shame in it. In fact, it's very respectable.
Kim slammed the locker door, causing Marinette to jump. It doesn't matter. It'll never matter. I'll just keep failing for the rest of my life. He clenched the failed math test in one of his hands. It was at that moment that Marinette spotted a black butterfly with a purple aura fluttering towards Kim. Eyes widening in horror, Marinette didn't hesitate to hold onto Kim's arm and yank him away from the entity. What the heck are you doing? Kim asked in frustration and confusion.
It's an Akuma, Marinette pointed to the butterfly. Don't let it get near you.
But just then, the two peers heard a voice shouting at them.
Marinette! Marinette!
Looking down the hallway, Miss Bustier was seen running towards them. It's an emergency! Check your texts! In that split second, as the two of them were preoccupied watching Miss Bustier, the Akuma covertly zipped into Kim's math test, turning it completely pitch black. The familiar, sinister, glowing purple butterfly outline masked Kim's face, as the skin around his eyes reddened.
Oh no!
Marinette panicked. In his mind, Kim could hear Hawkmoth's words speaking to him. Professor Jinx, I am Hawkmoth. No one understands the pain of failure quite like you do. But I can help them feel your pain. I can give you the power to make everyone and everything fail, even more than you ever will, so that you can lord over them your superiority. In exchange, I want you to bring me the Miraculous of Ladybug and Cat Noir. Yes, Hawkmoth, Kim said before his body was consumed with a blackish energy. Miss Bustier stopped in her tracks, completely horrified at the sight before her. When the evil energy dissipated, there stood a corrupted Kim who looked like a striped mad scientist with disheveled red hair and round steampunk goggles, who wore a long bulky lab coat and a long menacing black industrial glove with a peculiar red outline on the hand that he once held his exam in. Beginning to back away from him slowly as he acclimated to his new form, Marinette thought about her immediate options. But as for now, that's all there is. There isn't any more.